This is Martin from seekedge, channel for learning about investing and trading. Welcome to the pre-market analysis show for June 24th, Thursday, expiry day 2021. So this is the show where we would see what happened today in the markets and what we can look forward for tomorrow. Let's analyze and deep dive into the charts and see. These are the 14 points based on which we'll be analyzing the markets. Let's get into see how the what does the chart say. This is the Nifty 50 index daily chart, and what you see there is a wide range red bearish candle. What about Bank Nifty? Yes, it's another solid bearish red candle. So what happened today? What was the price action for today? Let's go into the smaller time frames and check what a day it was. Right, the day started here. The day started here. Today also there was a false up move, trapped whoever has gone long in the morning, and then the first 15 minutes you had the first bearish candle, and then it was a downward drive. It gave another trap when the market went. People thought it's another V-shaped recovery that's going to happen, but then it failed and then fall down. Right? So how much did it fall? Right? Let's see how much did it fall. So today the total points, right, 200, roughly near to 200 points were shed today. How did the 200 points happen? Let's see. So this is the gap up, right? So that's 100 points up. False signal was given to the traders, and then this was all the way down here, around 170 points, and then again another 100 points up, and then from there it reversed, right? Reversed to another 100 points. So it was treacherous down move, we can say. It was like, the movement is like 150 points up, 100 points down, 100 points up, 100 points, 150 down. So it is a very treacherous. Look at Bank Nifty, what was happening, right? See the movement, the gap up, right? 450 points, right? And then look at the down move, right? That's 700 points, right? And then people thought, it's going to reverse. What happened? Look at what happened. From here it moved up another 250 points. Have you ever seen macros like this? Right? At the low volatility, this is how the markets behave. It's 300 points down, so it's 750, 400 up, 750 down, 400 up, then 350 down, right? Here it is 450 up, so it was treacherous. Neither would option sellers make money, nor would option buyers make money unless they were scalping. That kind of treacherous market we had today. So these were the price action. Bollinger Bands, what do they say on the daily time frame? They clearly say there is a volatility contraction that's happening in Nifty, right? Why do we say that? Because we see that the bands are coming closer, so that's going to be a consolidation here. Bank Nifty, clearly it's consolidating. Already the Bollinger Bands are showing that there is a consolidation that's happening there, clear. Now support and resistances, let's get on to that. It's already marked, nothing much has changed. This is the Nifty chart. What do we have here? Nothing has changed. So what exactly is happening here is on the Nifty charts, you can clearly see that Let me just close. The support resistances are already marked, nothing has changed. It tried to break and come closer today also, like how it did yesterday. It went almost nearby. Today it attempted and then fall down. So right now this first support would be the place where where the market is currently closed, because that's a moving average. So it has landed on the moving average and then it has taken a support there. So the first support would be that. The second support on would be the would be 600 levels, where it had multiple times taken the support earlier. Here also you can see that it has taken a support. Here also earlier it had taken support. So this could be another area. Support 1, support 2, then you have the other supports, right? 23 fib and previous breakout area, confluence of that. Then so that area would be 430 to 330, that area. Then down you have 15,000 kind of area, because it's again a breakout, right? It's a fib 38. We already discussed that the previous day. So a lot of supports down there till 15,000. You have plenty of supports in the entering, right? And it doesn't seems like the market is going to fall bearishly to all those zones. It is just going to consolidate between this range and this range, right, for a long period before it decides where it has to go, right? So 16K, the all-time high and the psychological resistance zone, may not happen tomorrow. Never know. Most likely may not, because it is shown two very solid bearish candles, right? So it looks like there is a consolidation that may occur. Bank Nifty, where are the supports? Nothing has changed. It has actually taken a support exactly where we had marked at the 34, 500, 600, that levels. It has taken a support and halted there, went below that and then it took support there. You can clearly see that. Now that's support 1. Support 2 would be where we had marked, right? Clearly there is resistances, and these are areas where it had broken out. We have 38, 23. No, right now it is 23. Now there is 38 fib support, right? We had discussed. So all the support resistances remain the same, right? At 33 till 33 500 levels we have. So unless it goes below 61, this is the area. 61 plus point, that is 32,000 is broken. That is where it is confirmed that bearishness is there, heavy bearishness. But Bank Nifty is not going to go anywhere there. It is going to clearly consolidate here for a long time before it breaks the previous all-time high. That's what it looks like, right? Now what else do we look at? Let's look at what happened to the momentum. Momentum in Nifty. Yes, momentum in Nifty has dipped into the sideways zones, but no worries, it had earlier also dipped slightly and then moved up, so no worries there, right? It had earlier also dipped, right? If you look at what was happening, right, when the market was moving up also, it had dipped. No, as long as it does not go to the bearish zones, it's okay to, and this is like a slight dip that has happened, not a full bearish or a sideways dip, right? And also, yeah, there is one interesting thing that is there here, that is on Nifty. There is so actually we discussed about a bullish positive reverse divergence which could move the market yesterday. That actually didn't work. It failed. In Bank Nifty it failed. I'm just trying to delete these stuffs here. Just give me a second. So yeah, so we had a divergence at this area which we thought will take the market up, right? But that has failed now. Now that the market has dipped. But in that failing process, there is another positive small, a small targeted positive reverse bullish divergence that has come, which could again pull the market up. So it is at a support moving average. You also have the potential bullish move also that can happen even at this time because of the bullish divergence of the momentum, right? That's about momentum and divergence. So Bank Nifty was already sideways. It is, instead of rising, no, it is dipped now. It was rising earlier, now it has dipped. So it is in a sideways consolidation. Momentum also is there. Price is in sideways, volatility is in sideways, and the momentum also is in sideways. What about the trend? It was bearish, and it is going less strong bearish for Nifty. For Bank Nifty, it's bearish already, and it is weak and going down. It's not very bearish, right? So both Bank Nifty and Nifty trends are bearish zones with less strength, right? That's all about momentum and trend. Let's now leave the charts for a while and then go back into the open interest data. This is the options contract open interest, which is the derivative trading data, right? How people are taking the positions in the calls and the puts for the options. So if you see 15,800, this is where the major resistance is there, right? So tomorrow most probably there may be a fight that may be happening to get this on, right? So supports can be seen as 15,500 and 15,800 is where tomorrow back this one happen. PCR ratio is 0.83 is not bullish, right? Sideways kind of. Bank Nifty also PCR 67 is bearish actually. Charts say that 35,000 is still not gone good, and fight has been happening for last 2-3 days for that. It's still not gone good. That is where the major resistance is going. Supports can be seen at 34,000, right? So between 34,000 and 35,000 would be where most likely the expiry would be fighting to get the 35,000 if it is a bullish day tomorrow. And that's about open interest data. PCR we are seeing. Volatility, what did volatility do today? Look at what volatility did, right? Morning it opened, and from that time on the volatility was moving up, and it closed at 15.32. We had 14 point something, or 6 or 5. So VIX has increased, right? So the fear and greed index, the India VIX, right, based on the options data, has increased, right? So whenever the market goes down, normally the VIX will rise. That's what currently what happens. So volatility will keep on, it's mean reverting in nature, so it will move up, then after some time it will crash and then move down, then again it will go. So that is the nature of volatility. So fear and greed, the sentiment index has gone up because the markets had made what was very choppy and very volatile the entire day. Now let's take who did this crash today. Who's doing the crash today? It's going to be a very interesting data if you look at what did FIs do today. We had such a choppy 100-150 move up and down 3-4 times a day when both the indices, and FIs had been buying 3,100 and 1,050 crores, right? And DA was buying 1,300 crores. So 4,500 crores is what institutions have bought today. And who was selling? It is other people, the retailers, and maybe who had been selling, right? So tomorrow is the Reliance AGM. Probably profit booking was what was happening because the institutions were actually buying heavily today, and despite that the market fall 200 points and it was heavily volatile throughout the day. So that is data speaking. Now which sectors actually, let's just quickly see what happened today on the sectors, right? So what is the place where the selling was happening, right? If you look at, you can see that, right, profit booking. Reliance, probably HDFC was the life, was stopped the fall to happen too much, right? And you can see that IT stocks also fell, right? Both TCS and NIFTY fell. HDFC and ICICI Bank also fell, right? So Kodak. So this is how it was. Now it was performing, right? So overall, if you see, the only green was in the automobile, right? Financial services, IT, energy, pharma, automobiles, Maruti was performing, right? So and Hero Motor Corp also was performing. So other than that, that was the day. All right, let's quickly look at the ITs. What happened? So IT had a very huge selling, right? Uh, very bearish, but still the momentum is intact. It's in the bullish zones. Trend is also good, but this is a very steep correction. You had a kind of dodgy, indecisive dodgy, and then it fall down. So IT probably is correcting, but this is a support zone, right? So if tomorrow if it is bouncing, it can be a change in polarity. So it could happen that it takes support at the previous resistance area, this zone, right? It has fallen down. Now there is a chance that it can bounce. So on confirmation, you can. So this is the index chart. So IT index is also there, but when you are trading, you should look at which are the top performing stocks in this sector. Since this sector is, so that's the approach that you have to take, right? First we have to look at how the market is performing, then we have to look at how the sector is performing, and then look at which are the top stocks in the sector that is performing before we pick up which trades to take on the stocks, right? Metal was also heavily underperforming. It was already in the sideways zone we had seen. FMCG was also bearish today. 2 days of continuous bearish, but still in the bullish zone. So IT and pharma continues to be the bullish zones. Auto sector, performed today. We already seen that in the heat map, right? But it's a dodgy, indecisive. It's taking a resistance at the moving average, right? So unless and until momentum gets in the bullish zones, we should be slightly careful. Pharma is again sideways zone. Today also bearish. So that is how the sectors are doing. And USD INR, yes, it was, yeah, I saw, we saw that yesterday that we are at resistance actually. This is the previous resistance zone, right? So breaking this will be difficult, right? That's why it has been moving continuously up, walking on the Bollinger Bands to the resistance. Now it looks like it may be most likely correcting unless it is able to cross this heavy barrier of 74.5 levels. So USD INR at heavy resistance. How about gold? Gold is picking up. We already discussed that. We said that gold is at a major support area, right? And it's the right time to buy. Just shown one green trend, some correction, and then another green trend. So it's heading north, right? Good time for investment probably. In global markets, as of the time of the recording of this, SGX Nifty is up. It's green, on nearly 80 points plus. Nasdaq is up, right? Dow Jones is just indecisive, just flat, slightly bearish. So whenever the Nasdaq is performing, the Dow Jones underperforms. So that's normal. While it's flat for the S&P 500. So overall, US markets, nothing bearish about it. In fact, it's picking momentum in the Nasdaq, right? But the bullishness in the S&P, you can see that it is resisting. It is not yet gone back to the bullishness. Even Dow Jones is flat, is in the sideways right now. Nasdaq is in bullish zones and its performance. US markets are okay, not bad. No underperformance at least, right? So that's how the global markets are performing. So the wrap up is tomorrow is a monthly expiry. tomorrow is also Reliance AGM, so there can be very heavy volatility that can happen, just like how it happened tomorrow. But you never know, because if the Wednesday is having choppiness, normally Thursdays could be quite, never know. But so depending on how the price action happens in that day, you should take the trade. So if you're in a long positions, you should not think about shorting unless the signals are given from the charts where the supports and resistances are broken. And tomorrow is an expiry, so the expiry moves cannot be fully taken into account as indicator for that, right? So we'll just wrap it up, right? So candlesticks are heavily bearish on both indices, and it is taking a support. It does very good supports. So it may be consolidation phase that may be happening. Looking at the candlesticks and price action, volatility is contracting, again indicator of consolidation. Supports and resistance. Supports are there plenty, right? Resistance also are there before the all-time. Small resistance is only for Nifty, and higher resistance, multiple resistances for Bank Nifty to break out and go above the all-time high. Momentum divergences is seen in a bullish way in the Nifty, nothing on the Bank Nifty. Trend is bearish, right, but with little less strength. Open interest is showing bearishness around 15,800 and 35,000. Volatility heavily volatile, right, which has picked up. FIAs and DIAs are buying, which is heavily positive. Sectors, IT, farmers, only stocks which are in the bullish zones. USD is picking up, and it has found a resistance, and it is persisting there before it can break out. So it's at resistance. Gold is picking up. Global markets are okay. So that's a wrap up of the pre-market analysis for today. Please subscribe, like and share, and leave your comments, please. This is very important for us to continue to provide you valuable content. Thank you for your time. Happy trading, happy learning. Bye.